Hello everyone, my name's Neil Murray and I'm the Director of English Language and Short Courses in the Department of Applied Linguistics. Welcome to the Writing for Publication course. What I'd like to do now, very briefly, is talk a little bit about how you can find an appropriate journal in which to publish your article. And what I'm going to do is give you a few tips that will help you to identify a suitable journal. I think the first thing you have to think about is what is the focus of your article, because obviously different journals are interested in different kinds of articles. So you need to find a journal where the focus matches the focus of the article you're going to write. You need to look at the journal's website and find out what kinds of articles they like, what the focus is, but also whether they are more interested in practical articles around teaching practice, for example, or are they more interested in theoretical articles? Some journals are interested in both, but some journals only want, for example, theoretical or empirical research articles. You need to think about the type of audience that you are writing for, and journals will usually tell you on their website what kind of audience or readership that they have. So, for example, some journals, again, are very practically oriented and try to appeal to a wide range of readers. And they will often say that they don't want articles that are too complex, that have a lot of terminology, because they won't be as accessible to that kind of readership. On the other hand, other journals might be looking for articles with a much more complex, sophisticated, more theoretical flavor to them. So again, you need to think about your particular article and what kind of audience it is directed towards, and then find a journal that is suitable. As I just said, some journals will also make very clear the kind of articles that they want, the kind of research that they're interested in. Are they interested in conceptual research, library-based research, or are they interested in empirical research? If they're interested in empirical research, are they happy to receive articles that have a quantitative focus or a qualitative focus, or are they interested in both? Qualitative and quantitative. On their website, they will also tell you what their preferred length of article is. So, for example, if a journal will only accept articles where there is a maximum length of 5,000 words, and you've written an article that is 8,000 words, obviously, unless you cut the article in length, you need to be looking for a different journal that will accept longer articles. You also perhaps want to think about the status of the journal. Of course, there are some journals which are very well known, very high status, and they tend to be, of course, very competitive and also very demanding in terms of the standard of articles that they expect. There are different ways that you can identify the status of a journal. One way is looking at the impact factor. A journal with an impact factor of 1.5 up to about 4 will be a fairly strong journal. Anything less than that, not as strong. You also need to look at the editorial board. Which academics are on the editorial board? Are they well qualified? Are they names that you recognize in the field? Because if they are names that are recognizable, people who are well qualified to be on the editorial board, who are known in the field, probably that journal will be a good journal. Another way that you can identify better journals is whether or not they charge a fee for you to publish in there. If they charge a fee, perhaps they're not as good a journal as journals that do not publish fees. Generally, a good journal will not require you to pay to get published in that journal. You may also want to look at how many issues of the journal are published annually. If there are only 2 issues, then probably the chance of you getting published is going to be smaller, or at least you are going to have to wait longer for your article to be published. So you might want to consider that as well. If one journal publishes an issue 6 times a year and another one publishes it twice a year, you might wish to go for the journal that publishes 6 times a year. Another factor affecting your decision might be whether the journal has a strong international focus. Some journals like articles that write about issues which are relevant globally. So again, you might want to think about whether your article has global relevance or whether it has a very local focus only. And I think those are the key points that you need to think about when you're identifying a journal. You can get most of the information on what a journal is looking for, what kind of readership it has, by going to the journal's website. And most good journals will cover the same kind of ground. They will give you the same kind of information, often in a very similar format. So the first thing you should really do is look at the journal's website and get some idea from that as to whether or not your article will be suitable. I hope those few tips are helpful. Thank you very much.